Hello, my name is Warren Edwards. I am the president and founder of the McPherson Square Business Council, which is the DC chapter of the Biz Referral Network. We're here in front of what used to be Azalea Mall, and we're in Richmond, Virginia, where my very first Biz Referral Network began, and actually my most successful. And I'll tell you why. It's because when I was here in Richmond, when I graduated from college from Hampton University, I came out to find a job in Richmond, came back to Richmond to find a job, and I couldn't find one. So my father helped me to get a job at S&K Famous Brands. My father was a tailor, and he worked sparingly with S&K Famous Brands to alter their clothing. So as it turned out, one day he came home, and he told my mom that he was no longer working at his full-time job, which was at Bellwood, which is in between Petersburg and Richmond. My mom became furious. I mean, we thought it was the end of the family because she was outraged that he would quit his day job without telling her. And he went on to explain that he wanted to start his tailoring business, that it had been his dream all his life. He really wanted to devote his time to his tailoring business. And it took a lot for her to buy into that idea because he didn't have any real means initially to get a tailoring business up and going. But as it turned out, I had developed a great relationship with the mall manager, and he agreed that he would let my father have a shop for only $300 a month instead of the regular $1,150. And we had a guy who painted signs, who used to work at S&K Famous Brands, who said, "Warren, I like your dad. I've known him for years. I'm going to paint him an expert sign. It's going to say Edwards Expert Tailoring above it. You'll see it'll be a great sign. I'll only charge you $50 instead of $500. So we put the sign in place. We finally had my mom sold into the idea. My mom was a part-time or spare-time interior decorator. She decorated the shop perfectly. My sister helped. My older brother helped out. Even my uncle provided, he's working in education. He provided a large industrial and sewing machine for my dad to work with. And just before we were ready to open the shop, my dad came out, he looked up, he saw the sign. Actually, he dropped his keys, looked up and saw the sign, and he started to cry. And I was like, why is this man crying? So naturally, you see your father cry, you started crying. And then everybody, we were all out in front of the shop crying. And my mom, being the strong one, she said, listen, we can stand out here all day and cry, or we can go ahead and open up this shop. So, of course, we did the second. We went in to open the shop, and we never looked back. It wasn't just my dad's shop. It said Edwards Expert Tailoring. So we were all involved. Now, that's not the end of the story. That was really the beginning, because the mall was dying. It wasn't quite as dead as it is now, but it was dying. As a matter of fact, my mom used to walk around the mall with other people. We called part of the dead people walking, or dead mall walking group, okay? So she was one of the dead mall walkers. But it didn't matter, because my father would send me business, I would send him business, my sister-in-law would send business from my dad's shop, my sister, my brother, everybody would send business, and I would send it back. We had great synergy in terms of our business referral network. Many of the places in the mall, many of the stores died, like Woolworth, they went away. I mean, the place was in shackles, more or less. But out of 225 stores, I still remained the number 4 salesperson, mainly because, or selling manager, mainly because I had my family, my father leading the way, constantly supplying me business. So as a result of all of that, it helped us to grow as a family and solidify as a family. And one of the morals, one of the lessons learned from that is that when you build your own business referral network, you don't focus on the richest or the most successful people, because they're not necessarily going to help you. Focus on the people who are going to do everything in their power to help you be successful. And focus on those folks who you will always consistently want to see successful as well. If you surround yourself with 10 of those people you can call at any time of the day, night, or whenever, people who will fight tooth and nail for your success, I guarantee that you also would have a very successful business referral network. And so I hope you've learned something from being exposed to my story, or the story of my first business referral network. It's my pleasure to tell the story. And one thing I will say, this mall may be dead, it's no longer here, you can see it's gone. But the memories of what my parents, my father and my mom and my sister, and my sister-in-law, my brother, and my brother who is out of town, who gave a lot of moral support, those memories will never die. And that's what you want. You want a network that never dies. Thank you so much.